Check out this old piano that's been converted into a brick-built Lego sculpture. There's plenty of details all throughout it, some wonderful storytelling, as well as a ton of other nice things that we're going to be covering throughout this video. Hopefully seeing some of the details of this creation will inspire you and also give you some ideas for your own future builds. So let's begin. The MOC itself is called 88th Street. It's a vibrant city filled with theaters, street performances, celebrities, and a ton of other nice stuff. Now this is just one of the many incredible creations on display at Relics: A New World Rises, which is an exhibit that has been put together by the team at Relics Exhibitions and is led by LEGO masters Jackson Harvey and Alex Towler. The basic idea of the actual exhibition is that it's set in the year 2530 and humans aren't on Earth anymore, but amongst the leftover waste, there's a collection of forgotten objects that now blossom with civilizations that minifigures have created within these relics. And that's why this street is built within an old piano. One of my favorite parts of this MOC is how much lighting has been used to really enhance this and just give it a little bit something special. You know, whether that's the lighting on the street lamps or the lighting on the signs outside the theater, or even some of these different neon signs too. I think all of them look fantastic, but one of the best bits is the fact that every interior has a little bit of lighting, and that helps you see some of the storytelling going on inside these buildings. If you don't really use lighting in a MOC, sometimes that stuff can just get entirely lost because the inside's too dark and you just can't see it. So the fact that that's there makes it just feel like real life. Someone actually lives inside it. People actually do stuff inside it. It doesn't feel like, oh, there's just a bunch of random bricks in there because no one can see it. Suddenly this stops being a bunch of random plastic bricks and starts to feel like the real world, and I think that's really special. The lighting on the different theater stages is also interesting because the lighting's done in a similar way to how actual theater lighting is done, and you can see that with the footlights at the front of the stage here. It's cool how the way you place lighting down to the specific angles or the location of where it is can establish a mood or draw your attention towards something or just achieve some sort of dramatic result. You know, the fact that the lighting here is lit from below, it creates some more dramatic shadows, and also it's drawing your attention to the stage. So now you've got a focal point, and also you feel like the show is a little bit more real because that's probably how it would actually be lit. And suddenly you're starting to feel a little bit of stakes. Is this magician going to get out of the water tank here? The soft lighting on the opera stage here, you really get the sense that the show has ended and there's a sense of celebration. So hey, next time you build something, have a think about whether or not you want to put lights in it and how the way you do the lighting might establish a mood or create some sort of atmosphere. And while we're looking at the theater stage, we can see some curtains in the background, and they use a few interesting pieces. We can see these large red wedge pieces being used here, and then on the other side, these Technic panel pieces are achieving a very similar effect. Now I think it's cool how just one piece is pulling off this drawn curtain effect. And now of course, sure, there's other pieces behind it that help this, but you still kind of get the idea just by looking at this one piece. So it's nice to know that you don't always need hundreds of thousands of pieces to get the point across. Sometimes just one piece that has the right curves or the right shape to it will look exactly like what you're basing it off of. So it's certainly a nice part use here, that's for sure. And if we're talking about clever part usages, one of my favorites is the use of these printed 1x4 bricks on the very bottom of the floor here. These are some harder to find pieces that come on the Batman Classic TV series Batcave set. Now in the set they're actually used as wallpaper, but I love the idea of just flipping them on their side and using them as a sort of mosaic or interesting floor pattern that you often see in an older arcade or a city street. Printed Lego pieces and even some stickered Lego pieces can have so many fantastic usages, and I love how just by flipping something upside down here, it forms the perfect look. And that's just one nice part usage. There's actually heaps more all throughout the MOC, so let's power through and name just a few of them here. There's some skeleton legs being used to create some fancy balcony railing. Very nice detail here. The theater facade uses some of these tail pieces in black in order to achieve an almost sort of Art Nouveau style of curves and detail. And these tail pieces appear in a variety of different sets, but they specifically appear in this Atlantis set here on this squid. Additionally, on this same facade, we can see some of these wing pieces being used here in conjunction with some black minifigure whips, and it really does help complete that look. It's nice to see what kind of weird and wonderful pieces you can get and how nice of an effect it can achieve. I mean, even the choice of using a lightsaber rod piece here for flowing water is very clever. But on top of all of that, there's so many fun references to musicals and other brilliant storytelling going on all throughout this MOC. I mean, even just looking at all the individual minifigures, you can't help but imagine the thoughts and feelings and the fun stories that these minifigures have to tell. I think it's always rare to see plastic bricks filled with so much character and life, and it's a really great thing to see in person. And hey, if you do want to see this in person, it's on display now at the South Australian Museum from March 4th to July 23rd, 2023, over in Adelaide, Australia. Of course, there'll be links in the description below if you want to book your tickets, but stay tuned for even more videos covering the other relics within this show. Thank you very much for watching, happy building, and bye for now.